Right, so we are going with the front-facing camera this week, see if that makes the stabilisation a bit better. I'm not sure which way around Robert Cooper was doing it actually, whether he was using the rear camera for the 4K or front-facing. But anyway, I've been doing a lot of sort of research on the camera. Now, obviously, the research I've been doing is on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. Obviously they're the ones that have been out a long time and the camera hasn't changed, so even though it's a big speed bump for me and everything, but the camera hasn't changed since the 7. Now the OIS has been causing a lot of problems for people with these, especially people who are using like you know, the Osmo mobiles, from DJI. Because obviously they stabilise your footage as well, so you've got two lots of OIS that have been sort of like interfering with each other basically, and that's the problem that people have been getting. Now also, I don't know if I think I remember telling you I was also having problems with this business with when cable attaching the iPhone to the Mac, and I was getting black footage. I also found out the problem for that, and what it is the Mac itself. Obviously, the update on there has been made ready to match up with the footage from the phones, but it's all to do with this new file system that they're using. And what you have to do is you have to go into your settings, and why it was black, it's because Final Cut hasn't yet been optimised to go along with the footage. So obviously we're actually awaiting an update for Final Cut. So that might answer why it was also struggling with all the rendering and all that sort of carry on as well. So basically what you have to do is you have to go into the phone settings, and you go down to camera, and you can see for the footage storage it's got I forgot what it's called now, but one's basically the new style storage and the other is basically best match, I think you call it, or something like that. So you switch to that, and apparently that sorts it. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to. So that's what it's set in now for the rear facing footage. Back to the OIS. That's giving people a lot of headaches. Basically, if you're using the camera app as it stands from your phone and you're moving the camera, you are going to have basically wobbly footage. There's not a lot you can do about it. There are some apps out there whereby you can turn off the optical image stabilisation, which apparently helps a little, but it wasn't helping with the people that were using the Osmo handheld gimbals. Because remember, with the Plus model, you have two lots of image stabilisation. You've got the physical stabilisation that is built into the camera. This obviously allows the camera to move around slightly to take up any bumps and what have you. And then you've got the digital side of it. Now the digital side is what you can turn off. You can't turn off the physical side, of course. That is all down to the design of the phone. I keep forgetting to stick it into airplane mode, so you keep seeing these notifications. So yeah, it's all down to that. So anyway, I'm going to see how this comes out. If that's no better, then it's obviously down to the digital stabilisation that's causing some of the problem as well. So we're going to see. I mean, I've downloaded a free app, actually a free camera app that gives you a lot more control over the camera, which I'm going to try out at some point. from what I've played around with in it so far, it's actually quite good because you've got much more control over your things like your white balance, shutter speed, stuff like that. So you could obviously get quite cinematic with it. There are paid ones like Filmic and what have you, which are supposed to be a good app, but then when you read some of the comments about it, and there are people having problems with it. But obviously it all comes down to individual firmware and everything. But Filmic also is £15, which is quite a lot for an iOS app. But if you're going to use the phone a lot for making small movies and what have you, which some people are doing, it's supposed to be a much better way of recording, because obviously you do need that control. So yeah, other than that, it's been hectic as usual. I had family here from Wednesday till this morning. They finally left just after dinner time. I mean, what time is it now? It's 3 o'clock. I've had a lot. I just wanted to sit for a while and just sort of relax. Then the phone started ringing. Then my mother turned up for a quick chat and a cuppa. So you know, it all swallows into your time. So I'm only just getting out now to go and get some veg and some bits and pieces. I've also got to go into town, so I've got to walk from the car park down into the town and get some birthday cards and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a busy one. Then I have to get back and get my beef sealed and in the oven for my beef dinner. And I need some eggs for my Yorkshires. I must not forget those. I have forgotten those in the past, and I need them. So yeah, here at Tesco's, and then actually that's a point. I was supposed to be taking the grandson out today as well. So I don't know what's happened with that. I forgot about it and nobody's mentioned it to me. Unless they'd already agreed that I wasn't taking him out today, just forgot to inform me, which is perfectly possible, to be honest. They quite often will have little chats among themselves, and I get to know nothing until much later when an event or whatever is supposed to happen. So yeah, but we shall see about that. Part around here, and I'll probably pop into town first, to be honest. Let me just straighten up, because I've noticed they've added some signs to the car park now saying that you must be parked within the bays. So I think it probably won't be long before they start clamping cars around here. I mean, you're supposed to get, is it 2 or 3 hours free parking, something like that anyway. So yeah, it's been tough. I've got a lot of video to catch up on, you know, on my subs and what have you, but it's just getting the time, isn't it, guys? So anyway, we'll catch
Maybe
up.
it was you, something in the room that illuminated me, 'cause I was in the dark, wrestling the scars, but you took away everything. Maybe this is more than bliss. These moments I just can't resist. 'Cause this is everything I wished, and so much more. You are my light, and everything that I want. Come take this night. It's come alive in the dark. You broke through everything. Now all of the doubt, all that brought me down, is a million miles away. Now I'm seeing blue sky, looking here in your eyes. I fade away in your smile as we melt into the twilight. Maybe this is more than bliss. These moments I just can't resist. 'Cause this is
So, just waiting for my Yorkshire pudding oil to come up to heat. But so far I've just been looking while I've been editing some of this, and the driving footage, the bit where I was driving, loads better. So I don't know which one Robert Cooper was using, or even sometimes I don't know whether he's using it in portrait mode. I think he is actually, so I don't know, maybe even that's got a bearing on it, I don't know. But so far, yeah, so far it looks okay. I mean, obviously, there, have a look in there. You see, you won't even look at it, will you? So far, yeah, so far it's looking okay. But this one's just been in season, and she whines and she's awful for it when she's in season, aren't you? Hey, oi, yeah. Your breath stinks. So yeah, and of course they've got a male dog of the family as well. So we've had 2 male dogs here, and it's just insane. When they've both been snipped, so we can't have any puppies. I don't want any more. Anyway, had enough of that. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm gonna get on, and I'll catch up later. So yeah, it's been a good day really. Beef came out absolutely brilliant actually. It was one of those joints, you know, they just work out right, and it was like a round about that sort of size by about 3 to 4 inches thick, something like that. And I thought, I'll take the risk, and after I sealed it all off, I stood it up right and cooked it like that. And it came out perfect, so that I was able to just slice straight down it, and it just cooked beautifully on the plate. I love it when stuff goes right. So yeah, I've been looking at some of the footage while I've been on sort of editing and what have you, and the front camera does seem to not have any problems at all in the car. It's working just great. So obviously it's just that rear camera, the optical image stabilization. It's the physical part of it. Obviously, I mean, I suppose it's a bit like taking a lens. I mean, it's a simplified version. It's taking a lens and putting springs on it so that it can still move around. That's a simplified version of it. Whether they can do some sort of a software sort of issue to control that or not, I doubt it. I've got a feeling that is a physical problem that's going to remain, and it's going to plague the 7 and the 8, but I might be wrong. Hopefully they can do something about it. But I know a lot of people have been complaining all over the forums and what have you, even on Apple's own forums, but I don't think Apple really take much notice of what goes on there, so yeah. But yeah, a lot of people are moaning about it. That black footage issue, yeah, that changing the camera settings that I just showed you earlier in the vlog, that has worked. It doesn't black out anymore. Yeah, 4K is obviously a bit of an issue with rendering, but that means that you can do this and then come back out again if you want to, and it just means that you can sort of focus in on, say, an important point or something along those lines. And obviously when you do that, it means that unless you were actually watching on a 4K monitor, you would struggle to really see any image quality difference in that. That's one of the biggest plus points of using 4K right now. Once everybody gets to where the future and everything is 4K, obviously then people are going to start moving on to 8K. What have you? Because I mean, obviously there are some monitors that are just starting to tweak in now. Well, not so much monitors, but I think somebody's working on some 8K TVs, which is just ridiculously crazy. So imagine, you know, once cameras get up to that sort of thing. I mean, it's not really necessary. I mean, one of the best ones that I saw was, is it Litro? They're like really at the high sort of forefront of working on cameras. I'm sure they made one. And this thing's huge. I mean, it would take up this room. And what they can do is, because of the way this thing works, they can entirely film a room. Basically, they can put a set in a room, and because of the way it works and the way it perceives everything and takes from different, because the sensor's so huge, That's the thing, it's the sensor is so huge you can actually take a patch of the sensor from up there and use that to create one image and another one down there, so they can do an entire scene just off this one camera straight in the room like that. It's quite insane. When I read the post about it, you had to really think about it. It was sort of mind-blowing really. But I mean, obviously this thing, nobody will ever own one. It's one of those things that they've built, and I think it's more of a proof of concept really. I should imagine there'd be somebody out there who's willing to make a movie on it, but then of course they've got the higher cost of that camera. But it'd be quite interesting really, how they could dare do that. It'd be great to see it being done, I think, is the way what I was looking to say. You know, I'm getting quite sort of into the whole cinematography side of things. I mean, you know, I've by no means got the ideas to make a movie or even one of these 5-minute shorts. You know, the ideas just don't flow through my head anymore. But no, I just enjoy playing around with the footage and that. So Thursday, possibly I might get some more footage down at the seaside, because I've got the same sort of thing to do again on Thursday. So I'll have that break time where maybe I can get some footage down at the seafront. But I also want to go out to Brumley and see my dad on tomorrow, Monday. So we'll see how the weather's like really up there, because that when you get that bit further up, you're a bit less shielded from the weather when you get that bit further north into the Brumley Bay area. But no, I mean, biggest thing at the minute is the nights are drawing in fast. You know, it's like you run out of lights so quickly now. I mean, it's dark by sort of, I mean, it's pitch black now, and it's 8 o'clock gone now, but you know, it was sort of like this dark by 7 o'clock, something like that. So, you know, by 6, you know, it's not going to be long before you're driving home from work in the dark, guys. It's quite intense, really. And then, of course, we put the clocks back an hour at the end of this month, don't we? So it'll get even darker then. But yeah, not far off till Christmas, I suppose. Got Halloween next, of course. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll probably stay in. We usually what happens is the grandkids go and do it, and then they come here, so we get to see them in their outfits and what have you, because they usually all get them all together and they do some sort of stuff, you know, because there's a few around the village that do put the sweets out. Now we usually do, although last year we had sweets ready and nobody came. I mean, I didn't do a jack-o'-lantern last year, but I didn't get anybody at the door, which was quite crazy, really. Because I haven't done them every year, the lanterns, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do one this year, see what happens. But so yeah, I'm just trying to think if there was something else that I wanted to talk about. I can't remember. I tagged Dave on Facebook in that new, I can't remember which firm it is now, that have just made a hard drive that's, what is it 12 terabytes on a single hard drive. And it's got really big read and write speeds as well, like. But can you imagine that? That's a lot. It's a lot to go wrong if you've got all that storage near full, or even half full. 6 terabytes of storage, and you know, and if you've got 6 terabytes of footage, say, or something like that, that's a lot to lose in just one fell swoop because a drive failed. So that'd be quite frightening, really. You know, it is obviously always safer to separate it over certain drives, you know, in a NAS or something along those sort of lines. So, but yeah, I mean, I've got me wheelie bins to put out yet. Blue tonight, yeah, it's recycle week. So blue ones go out tonight, brown one tomorrow. And we'll see how we get on. I've got a doctor's appointment for general aches and pains a week on Thursday. Yes, you heard me right, a week on Thursday. I've got my kitchen to clean up yet as well, actually. I just noticed I could see a pan there. But my memory's getting terrible. It's been quite tough this week on the memory, actually. think it's just too much on my mind sometimes, that's the trouble. And then of course with the family here as well. And then we have our youngest granddaughter on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so, you know, and I've got child seats over there. It's crazy. You got more kids stuff than when my kids were kids. Oh dear. And then I had the wife out at her appointment. That was on last Tuesday, and then I've got a feeling I've got her out again this week on either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm taking her to another one. That was one of those calls that's automated with the automated message, usually trying to give you PPI and stuff like that. So, well, not give you PPI. They're trying to claim back your missold PPI, aren't they? They do my head in. And at this time of night, I mean, what is it now? It's actually it's nearly 9. So I'm going to wrap up, guys. I'm going to go and get this lot on the Mac and get it edited, and I haven't got a clue what this vlog's going to be called. It's just crazy. So yeah, I'm going to sign off, guys. So do take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys. See ya.